Hello and welcome back. Now here is my second video about the new moulding kit that I was using. This is silicone putty and it's a 1-to-1 ratio. So two different coloured tubs, you mix them together, so easy. So the instructions say it's good for making resin. Also, we could use resin, soap, clay, sculpture jewellery, blah, blah, blah. And the instructions say you just put a thin layer onto your original mould and then add more on, let it set for a few minutes, take your thing out, your object out, what you're moulding, and then leave it for a bit longer to set. I found at the end that it took a little bit longer to set, but other than that, it was easy to use. So I'm using a mask here that I've made by hand, and I want to make a mould of this because I think I really want to make a few more of these. I really do like them, so I can paint them and decorate them and things. So this is the original that I'm going to make a mould from. So I've got some scales here that I'm going to weigh out the two parts. I'll show you the two parts in a second. Two little tubs. One is blue, which is that one, and that's part B. And then we've got the other one, part A, which is white. And it's really good that I can easily mix them. So I'm just reading the instructions to make sure I get it right. And it does say weigh 2 equal parts. Now, I don't want to waste the stuff by just doing it by eye. So I put a bit of paper on the scales to protect the scales. And I'm wearing gloves because I do have quite sensitive skin. And I would recommend it, to be honest, because you don't know if you're going to react to it. Better to be safe than sorry. So I get a blob out of each one, weigh it to make sure it's the same, and I think it worked out to 1.2 ounces. I work in ounces because I'm old. And I don't use grams, as little as possible. So this one was really soft and squidgy. I do like a good squidge, and really soft. So I weighed that out and I did a bit extra. I did too much, to be honest, but I thought it'd be better to do a bit extra because once you've mixed it, you've not got very long to, yeah, I think you've got about 3 minutes. So if I mixed it and thought, oh, I need a bit more, by the time I've mixed the other stuff, it'd be too late. So I thought I'll do a bit more than what I need. Having never used it before, I thought it would be better just to do a bit more. And then next time I use it, it'll give me an idea of, oh, Bev, you don't need that much next time. So method in my madness. So I weighed out at 1.2 and the same again, weighed out 1.2 of the blue stuff. This wasn't as, I mean, it had a squidge, but it was firmer. So I presume that is the setting part of the stuff, I presume. I could be wrong, but I think that's going to be the firmer stuff. Or maybe it's not, maybe it's white. I don't know. Let me know in the comments. So I'm weighing out here, squidge them up and then squidge them together and give it a really good mix. Now, I won't film the whole mixing part because it's boring, but the good thing about the two colours is that you can see when it's fully mixed, which is brilliant. So there we have pretty much fully mixed. Give it a good old stretch and make sure there is no white bits left in there, because if you don't mix it properly, it's not going to set. So, don't waste your materials. Make sure you do it properly if you can. So I'm going to add little bits, like it said in the instructions, onto the mask. Make sure I get all the little details, because I have moulded some details on the front of the mask, like the nose and the around the eye areas. So I'm just pressing those in to make sure I get those fully pressed in. And then I'm going to add on the bigger blobs once I'm happy that I've got all the little bits and pieces covered, all the little finer details covered. Then the bigger blobs go on. Once I've finally covered all that, start adding bulk to it now. And what I do is I try and, thinking about when I'm using the mould, I put on the bigger blobs and then I turn it over and flatten the back a bit, just so that when I use the mould in the future, it's going to lie flat, which will make it easier for me to use. So I'll just shape it on a little bit. You don't have to be perfect, but if you can get a bit of a flatter edge, and this is what I do here, I just roll it a wee bit just to get it flat, turn it over, and now you can see the mask through the paper that I'm moulding, and just get the back flat. So I'm trying to be really careful here because, as I say, I've never used it before. I want to make sure I get it right. So I'm really being quite careful just to try and get a flat back on the back of that mould, making sure that the mask is really securely in that mould and that it's nice and flat so I can use it for next time. I'm peeling off that paper, quite flat on the back, I'm happy with that. And it does say leave it for 10 to 20 minutes. So I will see you after that 10 to 20 minutes is up. As I say, it did take a bit longer, about half an hour. So I'm just going to leave it there to settle. And here we go, 10 to 20 minutes later. Well, yeah, it was 10 to 20 minutes. Took the mask out and I did feel that it was still a bit unset, if you get me. It was still a bit soft. So I left it a further 10-15 minutes and that was great. It was absolutely brilliant. And that's where it was. Perfect fit. Really, really chuffed with it. And it's great. And that is my mould. I'm really pleased with it. I hope you like it and I hope it gives you the confidence to try it yourself. I have had messages from people saying they're a bit unsure of using this stuff and, you know, is it worth it? I think it is worth it, yeah. It'll save you money in the long run making your own moulds. Really enjoyed using it. Really easy to use. I recommend it. I got it off Amazon. I am not sponsored by Amazon, so this is just what I buy for myself. And that is the stuff. You give it a whirl. Give it a whirl. It's really, really easy to use. I do love using moulds for my miniatures. So thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye now. Bye.